So we're gonna head out for the run today. I don't know what we're gonna talk about. I think we're gonna talk a little bit about Trump.
This is a world.
This is a world premiere.
This is a world.
I really want to get a sense of Trump supporters, and I'm imagining that some people who watch the channel, I don't know, I imagine some of you who are watching the channel are Trump supporters. You know, I certainly don't want to scare off Trump supporters, although I've said some pretty nasty things about Trump. But I imagine that there are some really nice people who are hurting, who are afraid, who see Donald Trump as a way out of whatever was going on. But I wonder at this point, with what we've seen so far, if those people can really honestly say that they believe that Trump is their guy. He promised he was gonna crack down on immigration, and he's definitely doing that. And I really want to know, for people who support Trump, what they believe this immigration crackdown is doing for the country. How do we think that having this anti-Muslim rhetoric is helping the country? The rollback of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, I think that's what it's called, right? The dismantling of that Protection Bureau, which is the one thing that's been keeping the banks, which is the one thing that really has been keeping the financial industry, that's been keeping Wall Street from, acting out on their gambling addiction. It seems like it's a gambling addiction, and that the people engaged in this are addicts. And I can understand that. But when someone's an addict, sometimes you need a little intervention. And so the government has intervened after the last huge financial crash, and in 2008, as Obama was coming into office. And so now Trump wants to undo those things, saying that his friends want to take out loans and the banks won't give them money. And I'm thinking that for a lot of Americans, when they can't get a loan from the bank, there's nobody who's going to step in. So I don't understand how it can be expected that, the friends of Trump should be treated any differently. But yeah, so I want to know. Also, Trump has talked about draining the swamp, right? And I guess what we understand that as is getting corrupt Wall Street influences out of Washington. Well, now we see that Trump's cabinet is a who's who of individuals from the financial sector. So now not only is Wall Street having an influence in Washington, but Wall Street is Washington. People make assumptions about where I am on the political scale, if I consider myself to the left or to the right, conservative or progressive, Republican or a Democrat. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I have not really subscribed to any of that shit for a long time. Some years ago, I was socialist, but generally speaking, I don't vote along party lines when I'm interested in that process at all, right? It's one of the levers they give us, so if one of those people is gonna end up in there anyway, I like most people, don't like to have people making assumptions about me. So good morning. So people who make assumptions about, the fact that I'm talking, that my discomfort with Donald Trump has to do with my being a Democrat, and I just feel like I lost. I don't feel like I didn't vote for Hillary, so I didn't vote for Trump either, but I didn't vote for either one of them. So you're not rubbing my nose in anything when you kind of pull that, like, we won, you lost. I don't believe that. I believe that right now we're all in trouble if we don't pay attention to what's happening, call it out, and try to stop the things that are going to be destructive to our democracy. Because I don't think that there's a single person, no, that's a lie. I think that there are, just like there are trolls on YouTube, there are some people who have nefarious purposes. That's just how they roll. That's how they're wired. But I want to believe, at least, that a majority of Americans want to do what's best for having a strong democracy. You know, and I think even more than that, beyond whether we have a democracy or some other form of governance, we want the thing that's going to allow us to lead fruitful, happy, safe lives. And I really want to know, how do people feel that Trump is making their lives more fruitful, more happy, safer? And if they feel that that outcome, that benefit that they're going to experience from whatever it is that Donald Trump is doing, that this administration is up to, do they feel like it's going to extend to all Americans and maybe even extend to the planet? Because our planet's kind of in danger. I think people kind of get that. And if you don't get that, what is it that you believe? I don't know. And maybe this will send us all back to the caveman days, but I guess that's not the worst thing for the planet, for sure. But I really do, I want to know. I don't assume that this is some kind of a self-destructive act on the part of the people who voted for Trump. I believe that those people did so not necessarily considering the well-being of Muslims, immigrants, minorities in this country, but I assume you love your kids. I assume you love your kids and that you want the best possible future for them. And with that in mind, how's this guy doing that? How is this guy going to ensure that, if at this point I can't even see where he's concerned with us having clean water to drink, fresh air to breathe, access to affordable health care, access to education, fair labor practices? I don't see where this guy is going in that direction. But if you see it and you can tell me and you can show me on the map where we're heading in that direction, I'll shut up. I'll be the biggest freaking Trump supporter you've ever seen if you can just show that to me. But until then, I'm just gonna be wondering. So that's it for this video. Like it if you like it. Share, comment, subscribe. This is Reg signing off. Love yourselves. Peace.
And I love myself. The world is a ghetto with big guns and dick inside. I love